I see your body.
Hey folks, welcome to another Get to Know Your Artist episode of WOAFM99. So today is episode 5 of season 29, okay? Now what this is, for the new fans joining in, listeners, artists tuning in, this is something new that we've kicked off as a show to the WOAFM99 radio show and podcast that goes out on Sunday night, okay? So this goes out on a Saturday or a Friday night, or usually Saturday actually, and fans get to know the artists who are chosen to be part of the certified independent songs of the week for Sunday night, okay? So this show has been set up so that we can sort of promote the artists a little more, the breakthrough acts who made it into the certified independent songs of the week, and also a lot of the acts who were picked up after they were on the show, say last week or whenever, and they were picked up, say, for the independent number ones, the Go Chill Out Zone albums. These are our multiple number one charting albums, you know, across iTunes in America, Canada, Portugal, the UK, and also Amazon best-selling albums, number one on the Amazon bestseller list, which is a huge thing. It's a massive platform. These are massive platforms. Right? So those artists and some of our WOA acts, obviously, our label artists who've got new singles releasing or albums releasing, or they've just hit the charts, whatever, you know. So those artists get featured right here. We put up their photos, we put up descriptions, you know, direct links to their websites or their music in my YouTube video description, so you can go check that out. So anyway, so today I've got some amazing news. Some of the artists who were featured on our past few episodes of season 29 have been picked up for the Go Chill Out Zone and the independent number ones. I'll tell you all about it. You're probably gonna agree with me if you're a past listener that they should be on those albums, okay? So Go Chill Out Zone is volume 14 years of hitting number one across chill out, easy listening charts, things like that, and independent number ones, 15 years this year of hitting massive mainstream sort of pop rock charts and all that kind of stuff. And also both these albums are supported at the Grammys, so I'm very excited to know that these artists will now also get to that next level by getting onto the Grammy ballots and things like that. So congrats to all the acts who have made it into our upcoming compilations. So without further ado, let me tell you about some of the acts that are going to be on the show on Sunday night. So we got the Gretsch man, is what I like to call him, Jake Gray, okay? Now, Jake Gray was featured, I think, last week or week before, I'm not too sure, but his music is something that I like performing at my gigs, at my pub gigs or my concerts or whatever, you know, rock and roll, blues rock, that kind of stuff. So I'm not going to be talking, as I said, I won't talk much about the songs because I really am hoping that will make you go listen to the radio show tomorrow night, okay? So Jake Gray, I call him the Gretsch man, that's him right there. And his music is just fantastic. I mean, he's got a whole album of songs similar to this one. And okay, I'll tell you the name of the song is I'm a Mess, which was played just last week actually. And the guitar work on that was fantastic. I just loved it. I recommended him actually to the independent number ones team. And he's on that album. He's going to be on that album in May, I believe. So congrats to Jake. We're going to be playing a new single by Jake Gray, unreleased, exclusive on WOAFM99. How cool is that? So you're going to listen to another song by Jake Gray, and first on WOAFM99. Got links to him in our show notes, so please go check him out. Please support all the artists that we feature on the show, okay? Please do support independent music as much as you can. After Jake Gray, I've got Seiners. I always have a problem pronouncing band names and artist names from France, from Germany, you know, things like that. So Seiners, they had a fantastic song called The Coat. I'm going to replay that song tomorrow night, okay? I'm not going to talk much about the song, okay? That's Seiners right there. Fantastic stuff, okay? And they're German, I think, so you've got Constance and Frank, okay, who are behind the band, Seiners. Frank does sound like American, so he might be American, I don't know. But Seiners is definitely a German band, I think. But they have made it into the independent number ones as well. Okay, volume 15. It's our 15th year anniversary album. So I'm really, really rooting for these new acts that we've discovered on my show and on the WOAFM99 show. And they're getting onto these wonderful platforms, you know, and I like to think that I have a little hand in that. So, yeah. After Seiners, we've got one of my favorite sort of chilled out music artist is called the Rogue Commandos. It's actually Marco Connelly, who's the man behind Rogue Commandos. I believe he's a New Yorker, if I'm not mistaken. Is he? Marco, you got to write it and tell us. But it does sound like a New Yorker. And his music, actually, you know, I do a show on YouTube every Friday night. So last night there was it's called Raw and Real, okay, and I do these unplugged performances every night for my fans, very hardcore Oliver Shawn fans. And when I played Marco's last song, the Raw Commandos' last song, Red, White and Bruised, it reminded me of Ryan Adams, okay. I haven't listened to Ryan Adams in a long time. There was this one song by Ryan Adams that I really love called Come Pick Me Up. Marco Connelly and Rogue Commandos reminded me of that song, and I did that song on yesterday's show. Okay, so if you missed it, I'll put the link here. Maybe you can check it out right here. Is it here or is it here? One of these places. So go check out my Raw and Real episodes that I do. These are unplugged live sessions that we do especially for my hardcore fans. And so after the Rogue Commandos, we've got a WOA artist called Melanie Georgiou. I keep supporting Melanie Georgiou. I love this artist. She's a fantastic producer, composer. This song is called Feel, released by WOA International. That's the album cover. I love this cover. I recommended this cover to Melanie. I said, go with this, you know, I like it. And it worked out great. People are loving it when we released the cover to the fans. And people love it. I hope you love it too. And so this song is called Feel. I believe when you're listening to the radio show tomorrow, this song should be available on iTunes and Spotify and everything. So please do go support Melanie Georgiou and download that song and stream it, okay, as much as you can. By the way, I'm putting guitars on one of Melanie's new singles coming out soon. So I'm not producing it. I'm just doing the guitar work for her. So it'll be featuring Oliver Shawn on guitar. So hopefully you like. So it'll be like rock guitar and stuff on a very electronic music, electronic dance song, EDM song. After Melanie Georgiou, we've got another WOA artist called Aldrich Benson. Okay, so they're going to be on the show tomorrow on tomorrow night's show. Blues band. Okay, now they used to do a lot of different styles of music. They even did a world album that I told them to do. I sort of coaxed them into doing that, which did really well. They got into the Grammy nomination ballots as well. But then I did advise them to do a blues track. I produced a blues song for them. And that song got onto my album called the Independent Blues Project. This is my personal album that I produced with 10 artists, I believe. 10 different artists, 10 different songs. I produced most of those songs on that album. I produced this song for them. And the album hit number 10 on the Billboard Blues album charts. That's the album right there, Independent Blues Project. You'll see Aldrich Benson. It's one of the photos over there. And they made it onto the Billboard chart. So now they're officially a Billboard top 10 charting band, or duo, I should say. So how cool is that, right? And but today I'm going to be, tomorrow I'm going to be playing one of their new singles, Drown For Me, I believe. It's their brand new blues single from their upcoming blues album, okay? A blues EP or an album. I'm not too sure if it's a full-length album. But yeah, it's a fantastic track. Again, it's a very Aldrich Benson sound, okay? Once you listen to an Aldrich Benson blues song, I'm proud to say I produced their first blues song, like that hit major charts, obviously the Billboard and everything. And now every song I listen to them, I just know, boom, that's an Aldrich Benson sound. You know, these two guys, they've got their own style and their own sort of very unique sound. Great guys, by the way, from Seattle. After Aldrich Benson, I've got Yngwie Thor Kormaksson, who was on our premiere of season 29, and he's got this amazing song, and the singer on that song is called Bodhi. From Iceland is the featured singer, and he made it into the Eurovision as well, which is a huge thing really, and he's singing this song, okay, by Yngwie Thor Kormaksson's composition and production. And this song is going to be on the Go Chill Out Zone Volume 14. Very, very proud to have this artist on this album. And Yngwie is also selected for my Breakthrough Artist project, which is a flagship album from WA that I produce, which is going to be out in March. Yeah, so it's every 2.5 years, every 3 years we release a Breakthrough Artist album, and Yngwie is part of that album as well, with another song, entirely different song. After that, we've got some new acts that I'm quite excited to talk about. We've got Ruth Manning, Now this is I won't talk about the song much, but I'll tell you the kind of artist that Ruth Manning is, so that you can listen to the show tomorrow. Okay, Ruth Manning is more Christian country. Okay, it's got that Americana folk feel, but it is quite Christian, in terms of the topic of the song, with beautiful sort of very countryish sort of Americana sound. I really do like this song. Ruth Manning, that's Ruth Manning right there. By the way, she's also got a music video that has been selected by our WOA Films team, and it's going to be on the next WOA TV show, season 7. They're accepting submissions for that TV show, which is supported by network cable TV channels around, say, Dubai, India, those places. So your video, if it's selected, will be on this show that does, it's released every 3 months, and the show is promoted, that entire episode is supported for 3 months, okay, on various TV shows, cable TV shows, community TV shows, things like that. They pick up, just like the WOAFM99 radio show, they pick up the WOA TV show for regular TV, which is a great thing for independent artists. They really should consider, if you have a music video, it doesn't have to be a high-end music video, but it has to be broadcast quality, okay? And if you have a good video, send it in. Even lyric videos are sometimes accepted as well, or live performance videos. If it's edited in the right way, you can make it onto the WOA TV show, which is a great platform. So Ruth Manning coming up tomorrow with a fantastic song. Yeah, we then have an artist called Gary J. Okay, I hope that's the right name. I will have the proper name if it's not Gary J. I'll have his full name, or his stage name, I should say, for the radio show tomorrow. Now, when this song started, again, a lot of hip hop rap acts are really surprising me, because so many of them now are focusing, they sort of have hardcore guitars on their loops, because it's all about loops with hip hop and rap music, right? So they get this amazing sort of dance loop, or whatever it is, like a hook line, almost like a chorus for a rock song, through the entire song. And Gary J has got this amazing song, and it's proper rap, hip hop, very musical rap hip hop, I should say. Rather than very hardcore rap, it's more hip hop and R&B-ish almost. But the fact that he's got this amazing guitars in it, which sounds like live guitars, it does not sound like a sample, to me at least, So let me know what you think about it. Great song. I'm hoping to hear more music from them. I am opening up to rap and hip hop, okay? I am working with some amazing acts like PM, who did a rap on my very pop rock song, New York. If you haven't seen the video for that, check it out. I'll put the link down there to New York, and you can see how I've sort of synced in rap and hip hop with pop rock and country, and it turned out really well. So I am very open to that kind of music. We then have an artist called Shar, S-H-A-R. Now this song is a Tracy Chapman cover. Okay, I'm a big Tracy Chapman fan, and which is one of the reasons I selected the track. I go, boom, you're gonna put that in. But it is Tracy Chapman, but it sounds like a underground indie version of Tracy Chapman's track. Okay. I won't tell you the song. You got to check it out on Sunday night to know what it is. The guitars are done by an artist, a guitar player called Doomy, very good guitar player on that song, and Shar is the singer. Because I love when independent artists do a cover song in their own style and put it out there. It does open up a big market for them, and more independent artists should do that. Do your originals, obviously, do it. You're all about your original music, but don't be scared to put out your version of a cover song that you really like. It worked out tremendously well for me. I mean, I released an album called Garage Sessions Volume 1, and that album has 4 of my old original songs that I redid in an unplugged sort of live feel, and 4 or 5 of cover songs, legendary cover songs that I used to sing at my Garage Sessions gigs that I do now, which is called Raw and Real gigs on YouTube. And Facebook and Instagram and all that. And fans chose the song. The album went on to hit #1 in America and the UK on the iTunes charts, Amazon #1 for 1 whole week, maybe 10 days. But best of all, it hit the Billboard Blues album charts at #14. Just an album featuring my old music and 4 old songs that I redid on by myself. It hit the Billboard charts. When it hits the Billboard charts, you know that album is being streamed and downloaded by fans around the world. I got new fans in countries I never even toured before. You know, my version of Wish You Were Here, Pink Floyd song, I did my own version of it, an unplugged version, was hitting the Apple Music charts in the top 10, even hit number 1 on Apple Music streaming charts in Egypt and Nepal and Argentina and, you know, you name it, different countries. You know, aside from the US, America, obviously US and UK and Portugal, all of that, of course it did, and it hit the Billboard charts, but it also hit Apple Music charts and Spotify playlists, major playlists in countries that I've never been to before, or never performed, or never promoted my music there before. So it does open up major markets for you. Just consider doing cover songs as well. It does help. In your own style, by the way. Don't just do a karaoke version, you know, make it your own. So Shara has done that with Tracy Chapman's song. I do like it. I'm really glad she's done this, and it's opened up markets for her. Like, I've noticed Shar, and I think you like it. You'd like her too. Shar featuring Doomy on the guitar. Then we've got Max Cedo. Max Cedo, that's the name of the artist. Now this song, again, I won't tell you the name of the song, so that, you know, I want you to tune in to see which song I'm playing tomorrow night on the WOAFM99 radio show and podcast. So Max Cedo reminded me, it's a modern song, don't get me wrong, but I'm rooted, you know, my fundamentals in my music upbringing is rooted with classic music, and not classical, but classic music, like Police and George Harrison or the Beatles or, you know, Pink Floyd, you know that kind of stuff, you know, and I always try and find similarities between songs that I like, that I choose for my show or for the album, you know, compilations and stuff. I try to see similarities with classic, legendary music or bands and stuff. So Max reminded me a lot of George Harrison. Steve Miller Band came to mind when I heard him. I was like, yeah, I can hear a bit of Steve Miller in there, you know. But maybe he doesn't even think that, you know. Maybe Max doesn't even consider like he's got anything from Steve Miller or from George Harrison or that kind of style. But it's got that kind of feel. Traveling Wilburys, for example, you know, I can sort of hear that in a good way. That's a good. When I say that, you have to take that as a compliment. Okay, it's a huge compliment. So Max Cedo. Then we've got a band called Hippie. I love the name, just Hippie. And the song, again, I won't tell you the song name, but one of the reasons I picked this song up is because when I was on tour once in the UK, I did a couple of major tours in the UK where I did different cities, different countries, like Scotland, England, Wales, all of that. So I did a gig in Bath. Bath is a town or city in the UK, and there's a place called Mole's, very, very famous pub club for music. Some of the biggest bands have played there, right from Oasis to everybody, and I headlined a gig there, and the venue is like an underground sort of, you know, like a tunnel type of place. And I did another gig similar to that sort of venue called Bannerman's in Scotland during the same tour, I think it was, and of course, I did my music, which is, you know, Americana, blues rock, pop rock, that kind of stuff. But the kind of sound that you associate with those clubs is what Hippie does, okay? It's underground rock. That's how I term it. It's got a very cool sound. Like, you immediately, yeah, they're a Scottish band, okay? Hippie is a Scottish band, but I don't know if he takes this as a compliment or not. It just reminds me of old school London. You know, like back in the day of when music was in its heyday in the UK, you know, or in London, you know, that sort of time. I did a couple of tours when I was just 19, 20 in London, and I went to a couple of gigs at these clubs which used to host bands like Hippie, you know, like that very hardcore sort of underground rock. Not really Blur sound, but kind of Blur, but more modern sound now, you know. So that's what I love this song. I love the song by Hippie. I won't tell you the name so that you'll have to check them out, okay? But to know which song I'm going to play, tune in tomorrow, and you'll know the song that I chose by Hippie. Then we've got a band called Come On, Come On. Nice name, right? Come On, Come On. And again, these are some of the acts that I found that we discovered. These are some of the acts we discovered through free submissions. By the way, these are free submissions from various websites. So bands, artists who want to submit, you can submit your music through various sites online, like IndieBus, Music Submit, Groover, things like that. We don't accept submissions on Sonic Bids or Reverb Nation. But if you want to do priority submissions or standard submissions where you pay to submit, you pay the WOA team and we give you a 24-hour turnaround. And if you're selected through a priority submission from our website, any submission from our website, you get a feature. We do extra support and promotions for the artist. Of course, the main thing is to get on the show. So you get on the show quicker. It's a bigger chance that we listen to your music. Because if you do a free submission, there are thousands and thousands of submissions. And we haven't even gotten to so many because there's only so much we can listen to in a day, And so it's a hit and miss, as they say. If you do a free submission, we might hear your song in time, or you might just be on season 35. We're on season 29 right now. And we might get to your song, and by the time we get to it, it's a couple of seasons gone already. So because of that, the amount of submissions we get. However, if you do a priority submission, 24 hours, we will listen to your music. 24 hours, okay? We can't say you'll get selected or not selected. That depends on your song. But we will listen to it within 24 hours, and you will get a reply from us within 24 hours, which is cool. So if it is important for you to get on our show and you respect us, we respect you back. So, and you get a little extra. We do feature the artists across the board. You get links and all that kind of stuff. So thank you to all the artists who do submit through priority submissions. It just shows us that you really want to be on our show, which really is cool. So come on. Okay, this band, come on. I did like them. We thankfully, we got to hear them now when they submitted the music. It could have easily been lost in the crowd, and they would have got to it much later. It reminded me of Maroon 5. I don't know if they take it as a compliment or not. Some people like Maroon 5, some don't. But it's got that nice sort of pop rock feel, So it's got a very rock arrangement, and the music and everything is very rock and very, very cool, in your face rock and roll. Not rock and roll, but rock. And when I say rock and roll, don't think Chuck Berry, okay? I say rock and roll in a cool sort of rock, modern rock feel. But the singing is very pop rock, like Maroon 5-ish. So it's like a nice blend. Come on. And then we've got a band called the SunBears Band. I like that name, the SunBears Band. Very unique name, I should say. Now it's got a great rock sound, okay, great vocals as well. But what jumped out at me from this band is it has nothing to do with this band, okay? The music is completely different. But the vocals of the singer, I'll get to know who the singer is, hopefully, on tonight's show. He's right there chatting with me. Hopefully the band tunes in, because I love it when the bands tune in, and then I can get to know them on a personal level, so that tomorrow's show I can host it as if I know the band, that I've met them, sort of. So he reminds me of, what's his name? The singer of Pearl Jam, Eddie Vedder, yeah, I think. So his voice reminded me of that a little bit. It's not grunge. This is not grunge, don't get me wrong. It's a proper, very nice guitar rock sound, great vocals, and the vocals jumped out at me because I was like, oh my god, he sounds like Eddie Vedder a bit. Very cool. I hope that's the right name, by the way, the Pearl Jam guy. But very cool song. And then we also got a band called Ethereal, okay? The name, I think, of this band really works out well for them because it is ethereal, their sound. However, it's also massive, sort of not glam, emo rock, maybe? I think you could call it that. It reminded me of, let's say, Evanescence. I miss that band, Evanescence and the Cranberries and, those kinds of guys. And they remind me of them. Really, really cool sound, I must say. Ethereal. So, again, I'm not talking about the songs, by the way, today. It's all about the breakthrough artists whose songs have been selected as the certified independent songs of the week on the WOAFM99 radio show and podcast coming up tomorrow night. If you haven't already, subscribe to my channel here on YouTube, like this video, and please do click on that notification bell. This helps the algorithm, and we do have a lot of content coming up. Every week we have the Get to Know Your Artist, which is on a Saturday. On a Friday we have the Raw and Real episode, which is me unplugged, performing songs for fans and even different artists and stuff like that. I basically cover a lot of legendary tracks and stuff, and of course my music as well. But it's live unplugged show that I think you'll like. If you haven't watched it yet, here's the link. Go check it out. Okay, it's called Raw and Real. So every Fridays we have that. Every Saturdays we got the Get to Know Your Artist, featuring talking about breakthrough artists that have made it into Sunday night's WOAFM99 radio show and podcast, which also is on this channel. Okay, the first broadcast of the podcast is on my channel, youtube.com/OliverSean. It then goes to, of course, to Spotify and Apple Music and Apple Podcasts and all that stuff. But yeah, if you're an independent music fan, thank you for supporting independent music. If you're an independent musician, I'm glad to have you here with us, and I hope you're on the chat with us today. And send in your music, man. We'd love to listen to your songs and feature you on our show. This one, the Get to Know Your Artist, and the main WOAFM99 radio show and podcast. That's it for today. I'll also see my hardcore fans for my live stream on social media. Okay, I go live on Sunday night at 8 p.m. Across Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Simulcast, as we call it, at Oliver Sean on Instagram, at Oliver Sean on Facebook, and at WOAFM99's Band on TikTok. And I'll be live at 8 p.m. We do like a 1 hour live stream, which is filmed for my YouTube show, which is called Raw and Real, every Friday night. Well, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed our Get to Know Your Artist episode, and I'll see all you lovely artists and indie fans on the WOAFM99 radio show Sunday night, 8 p.m. PST, LA time, 8 p.m. PST. A lot happening on Sunday night, okay? So that's it for today. Hope you enjoy the show. I'll see you later. Ciao.
For me